Welcome everyone to a new video. In this tutorial, we are going to work on the workflow for fixed prosthesis. We are going to start with this tutorial. To begin with the workflow, the files I need are as follows. The upper model or antagonist, the lower model or my working model. I must have the restoration stump, it must be sectioned, and with the alignment of the library. I will go to the first tab. In this first tab, what we are going to do is mark the function or the orientation to which each of the models belongs. Since this is my antagonist model, I name it antagonist. The die, I press shift, and now my model is my working model. And this library is going to be my tooth. Ready? Once I give them the instructions, they disappear. They will remain hidden here. Or can access them through this tool, but within their workflow, they must not be visible to proceed to the next step. In this second step, what we are going to do is outline the terminal margin and the interproximal contact points. To do this, we will do the following. First, I am going to select my die. I will position the cursor on this side, and now I will mark this option that says draw. Now, when I select draw, everything automatically disappears, and I'm left with this line. This line will allow me to outline the margin of my preparation. How will I do this process? I do it by pressing the E key to extrude and using the left click to set the node I'm creating. Now, once I have delimited the entire margin, I will select the option that says Merge. The two elements are joined. I will continue indicating the direction of the surface, whether it is upper or lower. In this case, it is a lower surface. Look how it turns. Now I will proceed to determine the interproximal contact points. To do this, I select the model. Now I indicate to paint contact. Then, by holding the left click, I will color the area where my contact point will pass. The ideal is for it to be a large area, right? Because the library can reach from the incisal edge almost to the neck of the tooth area. So the ideal is to very well outline that interproximal area like this. We will do the same exercise with the adjacent tooth, which is towards the back area, meaning the premolar. Yes, in that case, we color very well with the left click held looking, being very careful then to color the area of the preparation. Once I have defined the interproximal contact points, I will select the option here that says Create Surface, and it automatically creates two interproximal margins that will be the contact points of my restoration. Now I can continue with the workflow. In this section, we will indicate the path of insertion. We will block all those interproximal interferences so that my crown has an interference-free entry. How does that work? I am going to first select the two interproximal contact points, and now I am going to select the margin of my restoration. Now I will mark the orientation where I want to create the insertion path. In this case, it will be toward the lower model, and here what I am going to do with this axis transporter is to give it a direction like this so that the interproximal contact points do not interfere with the coupling of this restoration. I do that movement in the following way. You are going to, with the cursor, hold down the left click and place it in this area, not on the line because the line moves it towards one side only. Whether it's the green, red, or blue one, we need it to be in the center here. And with the left click held down, we give it the direction. In this case, I consider that this is the direction I want. Once I find it, I indicate to lower it. Once I have outlined the insertion margin, I move on to the next step. Here, we will first indicate the interproximal contacts. In this case, they will be lower. And now, we will add a protection of 0.1 to the sides of the margin so that from that margin, our restoration is generated. In this next step, what we are going to do here is very simple. We are going to add the cement space. In this case, we will leave the cement space at 0.25. Mark enter and I press accept. Now the safety space will always be double the cement space. In this case, we will set it to 0.5. Okay. I press enter and now press accept zone. Look at how my process is going. In this case, I already have the cement area with its blockage to be able to mark it in the restoration. Let's continue with the next step. It will be the occlusal adjustment of the restoration. How does that work? I select the option View Antagonist. All the elements will be displayed. I select my model and choose Select Antagonist. Let's leave a displacement of 0.15. We apply. Now, I select my restoration and indicate Select Restoration. Now, what we are going to do is choose the option to trim restoration. It automatically adjusts the margin or the contact point on the library. If some areas are left exposed, I recommend sculpting them in this section to make the mesh adaptation much easier. We finish this step by selecting this option called Click to end this stage. In this tab, we will create our crown properly. We select the library and indicate Generate Lower Crown. Once it generates the crown, I will hide my antagonist model, my working model, and I am left with the die and the crown. Look how it turns out. Ready? I need to make small adjustments. What adjustments will I make? Optimize the margin. I select the crown and indicate here to smooth with protection. If this smoothing is too soft for my taste, I will lower it to 3. Let's select the option to exit, minimize the tab, and now let's go to contact manufacturing. In that option, what we are going to do is the following. I check the option to view interproximal contacts. I will select the 2 pink interproximal contacts, and now I instruct to select the pink contact and create cut. Here we are going to leave an offset of 0.1, press enter, and now apply. I am going to hide my model, select my restoration, and indicate to modify the selection shape. this. For what purpose? So that I can smooth and shape the interproximal contact points. I can also use this tool to model the morphology a bit and add some details to my restoration. Once I finish smoothing and shaping those interproximal contact points, I will select this option that says Cut Contact. Look how it turns out. And again, I choose Smooth with Protection. This is to be able to smooth without brushing the internal area. I indicate to exit and now delete the contact placeholders. This way, I create a fixed prosthesis with the Blender 4D crown module. If you have doubts, questions, or concerns, you can leave them in the comment box and we will gladly address them. That's it for now. See you in the next section. Goodbye.